And this is an utter disaster. I don't know how else to put it. Richard Wolff and Michael Hudson spoke with Dialogue Works about the fact that Starbucks and McDonald's are facing financial catastrophe as consumers cannot
afford the purchase. The reality is, and I'll say it as starkly as I can, that in recent weeks and months we have learned from the Starbucks Corporation, the coffee shop chain, from the McDonald's Corporation, the hamburger chain, two of the most important, widely distributed fast food service industries, that they are in financial trouble. And they have released information indicating that their research in both cases shows that they're losing business from the lowest income groups that patronize them. In other words, it's becoming unaffordable to get the latte at Starbucks or the Big Mac at McDonald's. All right, if that's the case, then I need to explain to everybody, if you haven't understood it, that both a general tariff and the de minimis, moving it from the $200 to the $800 and now taking it away, I believe as of tomorrow, or in any case, about now, it's being phased out, and all of those low-income packages will now be hit with duties, and very high duties. We're talking 145%, doubling, more than doubling the price. Okay, a tariff is like a sales tax. It's a regressive tax. It makes no effort to account for the purchaser's ability to pay. It's not like the federal income tax. It's a regressive, not a progressive tax. Removing the $800 exemption for the de minimis is likewise a regressive act because it doubles the price like a sales tax might, and that's a well-known regress. So what are you doing? This entire package of policies can only worsen the already extreme inequality of income and wealth inside the United States. And I believe almost everyone, even right-wingers, understand what happens to social divisions, to animosities, to hostilities, to discrimination when you do that. That every social problem we know is aggravated. You know, the recent books, the work by the Princeton researchers about the middle class that's committing suicide and all the rest of it. The research is overwhelming that this is a, here we go, self-destructive program. So Michael just finished talking about how it's self-destructive globally, and I want you to see it's also extraordinarily self-destructive, I think, domestically. Mr. Trump is really strongly favoring the rich at the expense of everybody else. Systematically, step by step, whether he's aware of it or not, I don't know, and I don't care. But the interesting reality is that this is extraordinary. One last point. I think it's crucial to remind people, I know we've said it before, but it's crucial at this moment, given what Michael just said, to remind people that the transactional approach that Michael just, illustrated or summarized, on again, off again, now you have a tariff, now you don't, now it's high, now it's low, now it may be just a negotiating ploy to get little gifts he can run around the country and say to the American people, I got the minerals in Ukraine, or I got whatever the British gave away, etc., etc. That the uncertainty, the non-fixity, is an enormous reason why what Michael talked about will not be undone. Because even if you believe that Mr. Trump will simply be who he is for 4 years, you don't know whether the Democrats, if they win the next election, will not simply undo every tariff he did, which means you can't come back. They make no sense. But it even means that the only thing now is to get out of the dependence on the United States. It's too uncertain. And why is that important? Because even if it's less profitable temporarily for the Chinese to sell what they sell to Indonesia rather than to New York, they'll do that because a lower profit for a while is a better bet than the uncertainty of the deal they had in the United States. That will be as important a factor in the calculations of businesses around the world that are now going to do everything in their power to reduce their connection to the United States. It's the same thing. If he cuts a deal with Xi Jinping and the tariffs against China disappear or are reduced, it's too late. You've shown what you're prepared to do. Every Chinese company, even if they applaud reducing the tariffs, worry, when will they be imposed again? What set of difficulties in the United States and for the United States will lead it to try to solve its problems in this way? This is an empire whose decline is causing it difficulty, which it's trying to solve by making the rest of the world pay, not understanding that the decline can't be fixed that way because it'll make the decline worse. That's what we're doing. Every other empire has done things like this. We're doing it as if it never happened before, as if no one had Mr. Trump's ear to say, be very careful. Declining empires have a nasty habit of trying to solve their problems by exploiting their empire situation, which only hastens them.
The instant relief for snorers in 2025.
Hey, stop using stupid nose things for snoring.
The demise.
Well, Richard mentioned before the effect of Trump